Welcome, disc golfers and disc golf fans, back to coverage of the 2022 PDGA Amateur Disc Golf World Championships. From Southern Indiana, it's Grant Zellner and Jennifer Allen bringing you coverage of this major. Ace Run Pro also producing coverage of this major, and special thanks to Gatekeeper. Jen, we've seen a couple of rounds now, and we're beginning to see who the leaders are going to be contending for this championship.
Yeah, and some beautiful courses. I'm excited to see another one here.
Yeah, a new course at Princeton Country Club. This is a ball golf course with a disc golf course that is permanently in place here. However, we have made some adjustments to it for this championship.
Couple of sisters coming out here today. This is Morgan out of Palm City, Florida, as well as her sister Jordan. It's neat to see another pair of sisters like Valerie and Alexis that are going to be strong and probably out there for a while.
No doubt about it. Cadence Burge out of Huntsville, Alabama, playing her way onto the lead card for this third round. And Shiru Liu out of Houston, Texas. I wonder if she has her name pronounced with a little Texas twang, being from Houston.
Maybe so. We're going to start it off here. Hole number one is a par 3, 244 feet. Looks like a down-sloping fairway basket on the slope of that hill over there to the left.
Cart path over there is out of bounds. We'll be playing a similar setup to the MA1 setup, but with some distinct changes, and this first hole is an example of that.
It also looked like there was a small area by that drainage ditch that was circled OB as well. Morgan has a good, strong forehand. She's going to be off there to the left.
And as her twin sister Jordan steps up, she'll throw the backhand, which is indicative of their games. They both favor a different style. Jordan's, those, needs to unwind quickly.
Yeah, that flipped up on her. It was trying to come back. It just didn't have enough room to make it on the safe side there. Looks like the wind may be picking up. We had quite a bit of wind in round 2, so Cadence's hair is showing us it's a little breezy out there today, so that might have unfortunately caused Jordan's to flip up more than she thought it would.
A little bit of a headwind at this particular time of day here at the country club. It sort of swirled.
Doesn't seem to bother Cadence drive, though. That was a beautiful drive. Nice, strong pull.
Just missing that tree.
Yeah, sticks right there on the edge of the hill as well. It's a pretty dangerous putt. We'll see if she wants to take that on the very first hole.
That hill is extraordinarily steep.
Yes.
And there are several other hills just like it here at the country club.
Yeah, even laying up, is definitely a little nerve-wracking there.
It'll be an awkward putt for Morgan.
Grant, do you like to be above or below the basket putting?
I like to be below.
Yeah.
Given the choice.
Good, solid putt to start the round for Cadence.
And here, to your point, a putt of similar distance, but her feet are at the level of Cadence's head.
Ooh, and she was able to connect as well. Great putts. That first one, getting in the basket, is a little more nerve-wracking than the next two. Grant, how many times are we going to confuse these beautiful sisters here today? They at least wear different colors for us, so that's going to help.
I'm thankful for that, because that's what my notes here say. Morgan blue, Jordan black, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. So we have separation immediately at the top. Morgan playing onto the lead card and now playing into the lead.
Okay, hole number 2. This is a par 4, 552 feet.
Playing around sort of the left side of this ball golf hole and then to a basket tucked beyond the green. All of the greens here at the country club are being played as out of bounds. Oh, I don't know if you want to call it an out of bounds island or pretend that it's a pond, but they're being played as out of bounds. Also, there's out of bounds right along the thick tree line beyond the basket.
Typically, most ball golf courses also play bunkers as hazards. I'm assuming they did that as well on this course. So that would be you play from the sand trap, but it is still the 1-stroke penalty. Good hyzer there. And it does look like that bunker was roped off. So she's in a nice safe area. Always great to see spotters out there. Thank you for everyone who's always out spotting at tournaments for us.
So we're going to go in with the forehand very, very safely out to the right.
Nice flat hyzer. Getting some good distance with a little extra roll. Yeah, on long par 4s like this, you just have to know the course well enough to know where do you want that placement shot to go. So sometimes that means driver off the tee. Sometimes that might be a mid or something else to put you in an area that you want to approach the basket. Good height and angle as well, just to crest over that green.
Needs that to skip? It does.
Yeah.
Slides right over.
Jordan gets across with a good little scoot on the green. Beautiful shot. It's hard when you cannot see the basket, so you have to kind of line it up sometimes with a tree above to know where you want that disc to come down at. Wonderful up shots.
So Morgan now putting from distance. Good fearless bid there.
Good look. Yeah, and those downhill putts are really going to hyzer out quickly. On any kind of slope like that, the disc likes to go down closer to that finishing slope. So it was a long, hard bid. Great putt. Another birdie for Shiru. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly.
We've got Jordan up and in now, saving a par. Everyone else looking to save pars here as well. Hot and steamy were the conditions just about every day here in southern Indiana during the tournament, but they were particularly noticeable, I thought, at the country club. It was by far the most sun exposed of the courses.
I always feel too, when they water the grass at golf courses, it tends to make it a little more humid. We're over here on hole number 3. This is a par 5, 370 feet. So it must be some trouble up here, Grant.
Yeah, it's the hottest part of the course, for one. You're down in a really steep little valley, and you do have some interesting things to deal with. Although I will say for the FA1 field, it's a pretty soft 5. They really had a forward tee in use on this particular day. So
yeah, I was curious if that might have been the par for the men's and was a different par maybe for the women, but
no,
nice good drive out there.
And it did play as a par 5, and there really isn't a whole lot of danger on it. It's just an undulating kind of shape, and it's just kind of one of those things where that's the way the par worked out for this hole for, keeping things simple and a broad range of players playing on this particular course. And that's just sort of the story behind this particular hole. So it's no surprise that some players were able to eagle this hole.
So they're going to try to get a nice big drive out there to the right, let it fade and skip down the hill there. Sets up great for a right-handed backhand shot. Surprised not bigger skips off that short cut there.
Yeah, some real thick grass here, very well maintained as you might expect. So not a lot of ground play.
Yeah, we want that to drop a little quicker. The tree helps kind of keep that up there. Hopefully she'll have a look at the basket.
She's safe down there.
Jordan playing it a little more to the right, and it's going to stay out in the open. And she is wanting that to skip. And again, that thick grass is just really not giving much play for these women. But par 5, still plenty of strokes that we can toss around there, right?
Sure. And to your point, how some holes play pretty difficult to par, especially in fields like those for FA1. This is sort of the opposite, but everyone's getting the same opportunity here. So, par's just a number, as Cadence now lines up about a 35 to 40 footer uphill.
Yeah, I'm just going to have to swing this wide and let it drop back in. That was a good bid.
Yeah, I saw a lot of putts from right there.
Yeah, again, the slope is just really going to pull those things down to the left side there. Oh, almost walks it in.
Big run from Morgan there.
And is that a turkey? It is. Big turkey to start. Going 3 down in the third round.
So spoiler alert aside, this hole played to 3/4 of a stroke under par for an average for the field, and it gave up at least a half a dozen eagles on this particular day.
Nothing wrong with a feel-good hole.
I know, right?
Hole number 4 is not quite as easy. This is a par 3, 268 feet.
Pretty steeply downhill, much more so than this drone footage makes it look. And then the basket is perched on a little bit of a mound that also is a little bit more substantial than this overhead shot is going to make it look. You'll see that once the players are actually walking on the ground, just how undulating this particular hole is. And it's definitely a challenge.
Beautiful drive, well inside circle 1.
Yeah, that's the way to play this one. Use the hill there in front of the basket as a backstop.
So we're going to see some beautiful right-hand, backhand hyzers here. And these women are just dialing it in on hole number 4. Morgan's showing us her forehand. And it gets well inside circle 1 as well, it looks like. The ground just kind of comes into play a little bit quicker with that forehand. And so unfortunately, Jordan didn't get the roll that the other women got. But she is going to have Morgan. I'm sorry. I see? I did it. There's 1. Mark that on. There's my count.
Oh, and this is the danger. Yep.
It always hurts me to see that. I don't care who it is. Oh, good, strong.
Oh,
Don't.
dear, two of them.
Twice? Oh, this hurts my heart. Both of them were good, strong bids. You have to just completely erase and tell yourself that this is your very first putt.
So much more easier said than done.
100%. Once is like, ouch. Two is like, what did I do wrong? There we go.
Nabs that last chain on the right-hand side and drops straight down into the basket.
Great focus. Oh. She had looked like she had a really strong putter the first few holes. That was I expecting to go right in for her fourth putt or birdie in a row.
A little bit of breeze, and you just saw what happened, to the player before you. So
yeah, not wanting to leave it low to hit that cage and roll back the uphill putts. You definitely want to make sure you're getting above the rim there.
we're going to start seeing more and more umbrellas as this round unfolds, trying to keep that sun at bay here at the Princeton Country Club.
Plastic Addicts is proud to sponsor the coverage of the 2022 PDGA Amateur World Championships. Use code 22AMWorlds to get 10% off store-wide from now until the end of July. Orders over $70 ship free. Thanks for choosing Plastic Addicts.
Hole number 5, we have another par 4. This is 635 feet long.
Yeah, you've got out of bounds on both the right and the left of this fairway, and it may look wide, but it was remarkable, I thought, the number of out of bounds strokes taken here on the 5th. The out of bounds on the left-hand side is basically where the rough begins, and on the right-hand side, it is the cart path. Out of bounds also comes in very quickly behind the hole.
Yeah, longer and tougher hole, it seems like, than that par 5. So I guess it all equals out.
No doubt about
the
it.
Previous basket there. That is not where they're going. Interesting tee pad as well.
Yeah, these were common, I'm told, in the southern Indiana area, as well as some other parts of the country. I can't remember what they're called, but it has something to do with farming, and they're commonly used, I think, as the ground in certain types of where they keep animals.
Gotcha.
They're a little bit weird to throw on, I'm not going to lie. But everybody that's local seems to be used to it.
So just trying to get out there to the open. A little bit more difficult down there in the valley. You really have to watch the angle coming up over that crest, depending if that wind was present. And they are playing into the next card. We do that on when there's par 4s and 5s. You can go ahead and throw as long as they are not going to reach the other players for speed of play.
It's so weird going with the hill that high.
Little bit easier of a placement there for Morgan. Although they all kind of are landing in that same next shot. Shiru really had a lot more distance, so she's able to crest way down there.
Catches a tree branch that knocks her straight down, but she'll have a circle 2 look. Everybody else hoping to save par from here. Good,
beautiful
confident
approaches. Yeah. And that's hard because it goes downhill, uphill, and then you have those low branches. So the height of your shot coming in here is important. This is probably maybe one of the holes with the quickest green as well. Is that correct, Grant? There's no grass
Oh, no
up here.
doubt about it. Yeah, and like I said, just beyond your vantage point here, right where it drops out of sight, there you go. You can see how close the out of bounds is.
Very difficult green.
So not surprised, honestly, at all to see Morgan just choose to lay that up from there. A lot of players doing that from that particular angle.
And that sits down nicely. These women are going to tap in here.
In karting pars, Cadence and Shiru both pick up strokes on the field. This hole played to more than a stroke above par across the field.
We have made it to hole number 6. This is a par 3, 278 feet over this nicely green pond there.
Yeah, it is. It's steeply uphill beyond the pond, all of that playing out of bounds. So it's a pretty significant carry before you are over inbounds territory. We're playing to the first basket here on the left.
Yeah, it looks like a nice strong guardian tree protecting that placement. Cadence getting good carry over to the landing area right there. Looks like there's maybe OB behind the basket again as well, Grant.
Yeah, over on the tree line. Didn't see it come into play a ton on this particular hole. I think just due to how steeply uphill you have to play to get to the hole, it's awfully hard to go long. But it's not surprising to me to see everybody kind of yanking over on these drives just to make absolutely certain they get them back over safe ground.
Oh, I was curious. I thought I saw a lot of them kind of slip on that previous hole with those tees. So I was wondering if they were a little slick. Hopefully she is just fine. That sure did hyzer off quickly. She's going to have a high look up to that basket.
Oh, thought she was going to go behind the tree, ended up going in front of it, and at least finds herself in circle 1 there, does Morgan.
Shiru definitely has a good, strong approach game. And Cadence slides hers up there as well. It's a good bit. That definitely looked pretty uphill. And now her sister here with a kind of scary downhill look. But she is able to save the par.
Not afraid.
And Cadence slams that one in there nice and strong. Good confident putt. And Shiru with a nice little tap in.
So just one player in the entire field managed to birdie the 6th hole here at the Country Club. That was Chantel Colander. So congrats for some stellar play. Everybody else, pars, bogeys, and even some double bogeys there on the 6th, but we're on to the 7th.
Hole number 7 is a par 4, 430 feet. It looks like we have another pond kind of coming into play here.
Yeah, not only that, a Mando early off the tee. It's on the right-hand side, so you've got to go around the left. The MA1 field played this as a par 3. From the exact same tee to the exact same basket location. I would not be surprised to see if these FA1 players follow the same strategy, though, which is out to the landing zone off to the left and then over the pond.
Yeah, that definitely looks like a super long carry. So I think playing over here on that left side safely and then punching across the water would be the way to go.
You know, the wind wasn't great for that long sort of arcing, gliding anhyzer anyway. So you can see Shiru here showing us exactly how probably 90% of the players at this entire tournament played this hole.
Yeah, she's got great distance. Morgan's going to toss her forehand up there, hopefully get a little work off the hill. That slope angle plays well for the forehand. It's fun to see them do opposite styles.
I know, isn't it? It'd be cool to see them play around where they both teed off at the exact same moment on every hole. Too.
Yeah. Good doubles partner.
Excuse me, Cadence.
I was worried about these low hanging branches.
Ooh,
she's
just safe.
Yeah, able to stay up there. That's a steep slope too. I would think the play is going to be out here. That forehand opens up to where that branch doesn't get in the way. And has good distance on that approach as well.
Shot shape sets up perfectly for Jordan.
That one's coming in short.
It's a hurry. I think she's okay. Need to confirm whether or not there's a painted line.
That's always the worst feeling. You think you've cleared it because you see your disc and then there's some line that's like 2 feet in front of it.
So need to confirm that.
Oh, I do think I see a line.
Yeah, there was,
that
for
is
sure.
Unfortunate. Oh, it got them both. At least they will be able to get their disc back.
I was going to mention, and Cadence might have played a provisional there. We're going to see in a minute. Over there by the cart path's out of bounds, and there's a bit of a connection between the white line around the pond and the white of the cart path. There's kind of a jagged...
Weird Y.
Where it just sort of connects. And so that might have been what got Cadence there.
Either way, it still looks like she is going to have that 1-stroke penalty.
So both Cadence and Jordan taking bogeys here. A little bit of a score separator there, the 6th. Took a number of players took birdie, but an equal number of players took bogey or worse.
And just like that, we're to hole number 8. This is a par 4, 405 feet.
Plays over a pretty significant valley that's almost more shaped like a big bowl. Then you get over the top of the backside to a basket that's tucked here between 3 tree trunks. So a really interesting basket placement. Lots of players trying to go right and long if they can. But left and short is also an option.
And Shiru has that nice, strong drive. She's going to get most of the way down there. And like you said, Grant, it looks like she set herself up on that left side so she can see the basket.
There you go, right there. That's exactly the view that she should have.
Morgan trying to get over there as well. And she does nicely. So we'll see if Cadence plays that further to the right, trying to get that to flip up and glide. Wonderful distance. She should have a good look at it.
And Jordan's into the hillside too.
Yeah, she looks a little bit more onto that left side. So Be interesting to see how they approach this placement here. Morgan plays it perfectly. And that one catches the grass just a little bit too much. She'll still have a look at it, but probably closer to 20, 25 feet. So Cadence on that right side is going to try to hyzer it around the other side.
Yep.
And plays it about as good as you can right there, just a tad bit long.
Oh, Jordan catches quite a lot of chain there, but doesn't manage to fall down into the basket.
Oh, that was cruel.
That was a big, that wasn't even really a spit out. That was more of a rebound.
It was a bounce off the pole. It was a good strong putt. Looked like the wind was picking up, so she put a little on it, and as you should. And that's just unfortunate when that happens. Something that, you know, we all wish that could be fixed on these baskets, but no one's ever been able to do it yet.
Meanwhile, Morgan straddles out and puts in a beautiful little kind of tester there, and suddenly Morgan has built herself a 3-stroke lead over the twosome of her sister Jordan and this player right here, Shiru, who quickly gets one of those strokes back.
Yeah, that one hit high, but luckily drops down into the cage. Shiru's really had a strong front nine.
Ace Run Pro bringing us this produced coverage, playing their part to bring everybody disc golf footage to enjoy. So, if you feel so inclined, support those who support disc golf. Join the Patreon.
And we have made it to hole number 9. This is a par 3, 382 feet.
Yeah, this hole's fairly interesting because it sort of plays downhill except for the basket being placed back up at about the same level as the tee pad. So the 382 feet, players able to get that distance for the most part. The hard thing is controlling the direction. You've got out of bounds very tight all the way up the left-hand side.
Yeah, and getting through. Oh, okay, I was going to say, I didn't know if they would take that inside route. Shiru going outside and, like you said, getting almost all of that distance. Looks like she's just pin high left. There's the inside gap I was curious if they would take. And that's going to give her a good uphill putt.
Yeah, Morgan landing in a very common landing zone right there.
And Cadence turns that over just a little too quick, so we're going to cut roll. Is that OB, Grant?
That's one of the sections where the line may jog over. We're going to have to get a downward look here at that lie, but it's probably OB as Jordan now playing safe and, again, kind of lands in that common landing area, that low spot.
Yeah, I like that big hyzer route to this basket. So I still can't tell if that, it looks like it was maybe safe, but she left that approach shot just a little bit short.
Jordan up and around the outside.
Good bid that nestles and doesn't go too far for her. Seen some ugly rollaways, so it's nice to see those settle down. Shiru with another strong birdie to finish off the front 9. That puts her 6 down out of 9 holes. That's amazing. And so Cadence does get the bogey, so that was out of bounds there on the left.
We saw her taking her relief back out from the edge of the rough. Just to be clear, the rough was very, very clearly marked. We're just not able to see it quite as well from the camera vantage point, but the players well aware of all of the hazards here at the Princeton Country Club.
And Jordan has a nice strong par putt to finish off her front 9. As does her sister.
So an interesting amount of movement here amongst our lead card players. Lots of dancing up and down the leaderboard, and here we are halfway through the 3rd round, so we are right at the halfway mark of this World Championship.
And Shiru has really had a good, strong start, so I'm excited to see how she finishes up the back 9.
Certainly has the inside track for the hot round of the day. The question is whether or not anyone else will be able to make a run at Shiru or any of these other lead card players. We've got 9 more holes to go here at the Princeton Country Club. It's very hot. The wind is swirling, and we've still got some very, very lengthy and challenging holes coming as the players work their way back in on the back 9. So you stay tuned here to the PDGA on YouTube. Make sure you don't miss a second of the action.